Chapter 2. Initial Setup. Heat material supply containers to the required temperatures in accordance with the material drum labels and technical data prior to beginning initial setup. The time required to reach the material optimum application temperature will vary based on ambient conditions, starting temperature volume of material in the containers, and the method used to heat the material containers. In Chapter 2, we will cover: locate LPG unit, connect component transfer hoses, connect spray hose, connect lock and load spray gun, power application, bleed air from fluid system, purge spray hose, locate LPG unit. Position LPG on a level surface. Do not expose LPG to moisture. Connect component transfer hoses. Apply Teflon tape to threads of material strainer assembly here and here. Ensure the flow direction arrow on material strainer assembly is pointing towards the proportioner. Apply the supplied superlube or equivalent to the A component transfer quick disconnect threads here and here. Connect the A component material strainer assembly to the A component transfer hose and material drum transfer quick disconnect unit. Connect the A component transfer hose to the A component proportioning pump inlet fitting. Connect the A component air lines to air dryer outlets. Placement of the A and B component supply containers must not cause any sharp bends or excessive pressure on the component transfer hose assembly. The component transfer hose must be as straight as possible with a slight downward angle towards the LPG inlets. Locate the A component container near the LPG A component transfer quick disconnect. Locate the appropriate material supply riser tube and insert into the A component quick disconnect receiver assembly. Install the supply riser tube that is the correct length, depending on which LPG container you will be using, 5, 15, or 55 gallons. Apply the supplied superlube or equivalent to the visible seals and threads of the A component transfer assembly. Insert the quick disconnect receiver riser tube assembly into the material container. Remove A component container storage plug. The bottom of each LPG fluid strainer air trap must be positioned at a minimum of 4 inches above the top of the LPG proportioning pump inlet. Thread the A component transfer quick disconnect into the A component receiver assembly, aligning keys with keyways until the connector is hand tight. Over-tightening the transfer quick disconnect can cause an air leak, which will not allow the transfer supply system to properly pressurize as designed. Repeat steps 2.1 through 2.8 for the B component transfer hose assembly. Connect spray hose. Connect the A component pressure hose to A component proportioning pump outlet. Connect the B component pressure hose to the B component pump outlet. Connect the heated hose machine control yellow cable plug to the LPG control receptacle located in the underside of the enclosed area of the LPG proportioner. Align key with keyway and thread plug into receptacle. Connect lock and load spray gun. Open LPG lock and load gun box and remove the lock and load gun. Connect the A component pressure hose to the A component fluid fitting on the lock and load gun block. Do not kink spray hose or coil tighter than a 3-foot diameter. Connect the B component pressure hose to the B component fluid fitting on the lock and load gun block. Make sure to properly tighten the A and B component pressure hose fittings to the lock and load gun. Connect the lock and load gun dispensing flow control cable to the hose electrical data cable. Power application. Ensure the LPG main power switch and the gun dispensing trigger are in the off position. Connect the LPG power cord to any standard NEMA 515 or 520 receptacle. The LPG uses a standard NEMA 5 3-wire plug rated a maximum of 125 volts. Under certain operating conditions, the higher amperage NEMA 520 receptacle may be required to attain the desired product flow rate. The LPG does not require any additional configuration for operating from a 20-amp circuit. The LPG has a self-contained low-pressure air compressor. This compressor supplies 5 psi of moisture-free air to the A and B component containers to supply the LPG proportioning pumps with material. The compressor will begin to build pressure automatically when main power is turned on. The air compressor will shut off once 5 psi of air pressure is in the material containers and continue to cycle to maintain pressure. The time that it will take to reach the 5 psi set point will vary based on the size and fluid level in the A and B component containers. Proceed once the air compressor has started its cycle on-off. Bleed air from fluid system. If necessary, run fluid agitator in the B component container prior to proceeding. Reference the Synergy Series product technical data sheet and container label for the product you are dispensing for further instructions. Open the air release crimp valve on the A component fluid strainer air trap. Observe as the fluid begins to rise in the fluid strainer air trap and close crimp valve when fluid is 1 to 1.5 inches from the top of the clear strainer housing. Repeat steps 6.1 and 6.2 for B component. It is imperative for proper application that each A and B component side has air bled from each fluid strainer air trap. Visually monitor to ensure each fluid housing remains full of product during operation. Purge spray hose. Position lock and load gun over a properly grounded waste container. Release and pivot open lock and load gun. Release mixer retainer latch and pivot mixer shroud block away from fluid block. Ensure the A and B component manual valves are in the open position. Arrows pointing to gun and hose are open, and perpendicular is closed. Adjust the material flow control dial clockwise to approximately 30 Hz, indicated on the gun flow control display operating panel. Trigger the gun with the nozzle over the properly grounded empty waste container. Once there is a steady flow of both A and B components with no air bubbles, de-trigger the gun. Turn both fluid manual valves to the closed position. Let's review what we covered in Chapter 2. Locate LPG unit. Connect component transfer hoses. Connect spray hose. Connect lock and load spray gun. Power application. Bleed air from fluid system. Purge spray hose.